Hello, anybody who's watching. This is probably the first video of my new channel. I haven't decided the name for it yet, but I decided to try something new, and we are going to be digging into my personal gun collection. This one being a little bit of a far stretch into history. This is a 1918 Colt Woodsman. It's chambered in .22 long rifle, and it is close to, I think, you guys can do the math on how old this pistol actually is. I don't feel like doing it right now, but this has been in my family for a while. We actually ended up finding it inside my grandfather's briefcase when we were kind of just looking around, looking through old stuff. We just ended up finding this little gem, and it's been a part of my collection ever since. And well, it's a pretty amazing pistol. It's extremely accurate. This was designed for target use, not for like a pistol you go down to like Dick's Sporting Goods. Back then it was like one of the primary pistols that you would buy if you wanted to become a marksman, kind of like competition shooter. Oh, I need to clean that out. I'll do that after I do the shooting. But let me take this down for you guys. So for the takedown, for field stripping it, you pull back the slide, you push down this little button, and then you drive it back forward. It should feel loose like this, and you just go on back on the back, push down on this little back strap. Your back strap comes off, your magazine retainer clip, and then your slide top piece can be removed. There's only the parts that you don't have to unscrew or kind of just disassemble really disassemble it. These are your parts, and I believe there's only a few more. There's this. Yeah, this is all you can really get to, like, for a field strip, and I don't feel like pulling out a bunch of tools, doing a full in-depth video. I'll do that another time. But since this is just for your kind of friends, just to show a little bit of my gun collection to them. Yeah, this is it. And the reassembly's is pretty simple. Do everything pretty much, yeah, in reverse. You put your slide back on. Make sure there's this tiny little, make sure your hammer's gone home. It's resting like it would be if it had been deprimed. Make sure there's this tiny, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a tiny little pin inside there, little piston. There he is, this little dude. Make sure, like, this will be a real pain in the butt to you, but make sure do that, and then make sure that it is resting on this top of the slide to put this in. That way you can actually get the magazine retainer spring in. Then after you do that, let it fall back down. Make sure your hammer goes home and put it in your back strap. Right about now, you're just going to want to hold everything together, and it should settle home. Then after that, just to make sure everything's working, just rack it a few times, and you're done. That's disassembly, and yeah, it takes a 110 round magazine. That's generally what you'll be buying with it. You can buy different mags. It'll take almost all 22 mags from what I've found, but I just use that one because this is what we found with it. This is the ammo I'll be using today. CCI Quiets, which are their subsonic ammunition for 22 long rifle. It's standard velocity, and since it's subsonic, it won't wear so bad on the pistol itself. I'll get that. I'll be sure to get some footage of me shooting for you guys. I will not be showing my face, but I will be shooting, just for, privacy reasons. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history, kind of like what was going on in that time period as I load up for you guys, because that way you can get a little bit of background. That's why I'm doing these videos, for history, and just because I love firearms. They're one of my favorite things in the world. During the war, the Great War, or World War One, but during that time it was called the Great War. Colt was looking for a target pistol to train Olympic competition shooters, and just overall just competition marksmen. They were trying to find a pistol that would function well in kind of the conditions that they would be facing, which are pretty poor conditions. I mean, for a target shoot, it was outdoor. There could have been there's tons of dust, since back then no one really cared if it was indoor or outdoor. Where they were primarily shooting, it was just dirty. There could be dust getting in the firearm. It was just bad. And this pistol passed a lot of trials that kind of just allowed it to function really, really well. And well, okay, that sounds stupid, but it just functioned great because it's a direct blowback system. As you can see here, I'm gonna lock it back. It's direct blowback. There's no gas piston. It's just firing pin fires, hits your primer. Since it's a rimfire cartridge, it's not super specific. Just hits that primer, sets that round off, drives that slide back, and then no little complex little parts. It just works really well. And that's why this pistol is a great gun. I mean, it's also a rare piece of history. Again, this is from this was patented back in 1903, and this was made on September 3rd, 1918. But yeah, I love this little gun. It's amazing. This is probably one of my favorite guns that we have. I mean, besides from the 1911 that I'm building and some of my other guns. I mean, of course, my friends will know about those. I'm not going to spread that on the internet because those are guns I built myself. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I'll get down to the range and I'll start shooting.